Hi guys, Brooke here. Give me just a second. I'm always trying to figure out how long the delay is before we start going live on Facebook. Okay, I see them on there now. Hope you guys are doing well on this rainy Tuesday, and welcome to Legal Talk Tuesday. As you know, Laura or myself or both of us hop on at 11:30 Central every Tuesday, talk on a specific topic that we think might be helpful to you. And so we've decided, and we periodically have done this, but we decided that we wanted to dedicate a Tuesday specifically to mindset because it's very important to us in our lives and our businesses. And we think that, sharing some of these things with you guys can also be helpful to you. So today we are talking about thought modeling. I actually recently spoke at a national convention, a legal tech conference virtually, and I really excited because the last 2 years, the conference has incorporated a well-being component. And so this year I was able to speak on thought modeling. And, it's really important for us to manage our thoughts and control our thoughts to be able to level up in life, in business, wherever we're at. So we can't always control the factors and the circumstances that are present in our lives, but we can choose how we feel about them, how we're going to respond to them. Thoughts really do become things. You can actually manifest things, seriously. So it's a little bit science, a little bit woo. If you know me, I love the woo, but we do have the ability to attract more of what we want in life by kind of rewiring our brains and shifting our narratives through this process called thought modeling. So thought modeling is actually a self-coaching concept, and it's very helpful in creating lasting changes. And this model specifically uses 5 components: circumstances, thoughts, feelings, and actions to categorize literally every aspect of your life in order to help you to identify and change any unintentional patterns that have been occurring for you. So I just want to give you kind of a high level overview today of what that looks like. We'll start with circumstances. That's the first component. So throughout our lives, there are different things that happen to us. And these things are the circumstances of our lives, or the actual facts of our lives. And the facts are objective truths of our lives. So they're not biased. They're pretty much widely accepted by everybody to be true because they're factual. For example, I have 3 kids. That is a circumstance of my life. It's a fact. But if I say my 3 kids are the smartest kids out there, which they are, then that's subjective and biased. So it's not going to be a circumstance. It is Monday. That's also a fact. So if I am in my head saying it's going to be a tough day because it's only Monday, that is not a fact. So we have to separate facts from thoughts. It's really imperative for us to do that so that we can eliminate unnecessary stress and chaos. And then second, we move on to thoughts. So we perceive things that happen to us a specific way. It's all about perception. So our thoughts can either add stress or chaos to our day, or they can bring us joy and calm, whatever. But we need to learn how to separate out those facts from these things that we think. Thoughts are just kind of a narrative that we are creating in our heads, but that doesn't make them true. So all thoughts are not necessarily true. So we have tens of thousands of thoughts every day, and we get to choose which thoughts to give power to actually focus on. So we do have some power in the situation. And we often accept the thoughts that we have in our head as true when more often than not, they're actually subjective. So think back to, the circumstance that it's Monday. That is a fact. Today is Tuesday, but if it were Monday, that's a fact. So I may choose to think that it's going to be a tough day because it's Monday, but that's a thought. I'm thinking that. That's not the truth. It's not a fact. And then we move on from that to feelings. So the thoughts that we direct our attention to make us feel a certain way. We usually refer to these things, these feelings, as emotions. Things like happiness, sadness, anger. There's so many different emotions, all the emotions. These feelings elicit actual physical sensations in our bodies, and we feel the way we do because of the things that we are thinking. So, for instance, when I get angry or frustrated, I actually get flushed like red, I get hot. And so your body is reacting to that thought that you are having. And so, for instance, if I think, well, it will be a tough day because it's Monday, I may feel sad. I may feel really anxious about the work week, might even be unmotivated because it's Monday and I'm tired, whatever. And then these feelings can actually lead us to take certain actions, which is the next component. So our feelings lead us to take those actions in our lives. Our choices are to either take action, be reactive, or to do nothing at all. So if I'm thinking today will be a tough day because it's Monday and I feel really unmotivated because it's Monday, I may choose to procrastinate big tasks instead of completing those projects. So that's an inaction. That is me doing nothing. Uh, or if I think it's Monday, so I have plenty of time to get my work done, I may feel motivated and then I may get to work knocking out my to-do list. Then the actions that you take lastly are going to lead to a certain result that you can then trace back to that very original thought that you chose to focus on. So if you actually follow and are really intentional about watching your behaviors and your actions, once you get to the result, you can look back in hindsight and see how the thought triggered all of these things and the result that you got. So in the example, if I procrastinate my task and then I don't complete them, that's going to leave the result today is tough. And it confirms my original thought. Well, okay, Mondays are hard. So that's kind of how it works, that you go from circumstance to thoughts to feelings to actions to results. And, if you track those things, you can go backward and you can see how it's a full circle. So really, it may sound a little woo to say your thoughts become things, but they literally become things because they you have this circumstance and then you think a certain way about it and then you feel a certain way and then that feeling leads you to act, react, not act, whatever, and then you ultimately get the result. So that's kind of a high level overview of what thought modeling is and why it's really important to be cognizant of the thoughts that we have every single day and how we actually do have more power and control about the circumstances, about things that we don't necessarily have control over, the external things, about how we can take our power back in even those situations. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Next week at 11:30 Central, Laura will be here talking about family law. So please tune in, and I hope that you have a strong and healthy end of the month. Have a great week.